We are told that all the possibilities lie embedded in man, in his soul. All the possibilities lie in him. That is a promise also that he is not just the past, he has a future in him, and it is towards the future that things can move in different ways. His past lives in him, in man. It drives his future's pace. His present acts fashion his coming fate. Actually, this tells you about the three divisions of time: the past, the present, the future. Trikala, as we would call, Bhuta, Vartamana, Bhavishya. Now, past is a force, the present is also a force, future is also an independent force. It is not a serial occurrence of things from past to present to future. While the past can influence our present, while the present can shape the future can also have an impact, influence on the present. It is a force independent of the past and the present. It is as if something coming from beyond to you which is influencing all your actions, all your activities. So his presence acts fashion his coming fate. Fate is coming with its own force. Now it depends upon how you are prepared to receive the fate. That is your responsibility. That is man's responsibility to receive the force of the future which is trying to enter in you. And his coming fate. Now fate has different shades, different meanings, different connotations. In one place, we can see fate in its Latin sense, fatum, which is the form of act and creation declared beforehand by a will within. A will within us. It is that declares the form of act and creation of the present. It is fated in that sense. It is a will of the future which is now acting and doing something in you. It is also an unseen force which is not visible to us. Only a person who has Trikala Drishti, he can see all the three divisions of time: the past, the present, the future. We don't have Trikala Drishti. So in that sense, fate for us remains adrashta, unseen. We don't know. But yet, it is a will which can determine the present acts and creations of ours. Fate, in the third sense, is niyati, something which is governed by nature, by the cosmic forces. Niyati, things willed and executed by nature. That is niyati, that is fate. Now, here his presence acts fashion his coming fate. It seems to be with all these three connotations. Fate here, which is the Latin sense of the will of the future determining the present, the adrashta, the unseen force, the action of nature governing all of the activities. So it is in the combination of all these forces that man can move on. All the past is not only buried with him. The possibilities of man therefore lie in all the three modes of fate itself. And therefore when it happens, when that unseen force, that higher will enters into you, when the will of nature in its glorious forms starts acting in you, then what happens? The unborn gods who are living in your house can take birth. All the powers of light, of love, beauty, joy, knowledge, strength, all those gods who are within us, they can emerge and take birth at that point, you see. So that is the possibility which is now open to man, and that is what Savitri is seeing in her swapna, in a dream consciousness, in her swapna avastha. The unborn gods hide in his house of life. The demons, the unknown, overshadow his mind, casting the dreams into live molds of thought, the molds in which his mind builds out its world. The demons, the unknown. Now, there is a deep sense here of the demons. DAEMONS. These are the beings who stand between man and God. They bring things of God to man. They take things of man to God. They form a link. And therefore, when the unborn gods are to be born in man, these demons come into action, into activity. They participate in this participation between man and God. The demons, they are known, overshadow his mind. So it is not anymore man's mind, but some other force, some other being who is really now influencing his thought, his feeling, his action, everything. You see. Casting the dreams into live molds of thought, the molds in which his mind builds up new worlds. So these are the possibilities now which are opening out because of these beings, helpful beings who come into play to help him, who bring things of God to man, who take things of man, his prayers, his aspirations, his hopes, his longings, his yearnings to God, and there is a fulfillment in that. Now, this concept of demons, or you can say even not just a concept, a mental thought, but a reality of these demons is what one might say was seen by the Greek rishis. Plato speaks of demons, these demons, in his Symposium. And in the Symposium, there is the most famous dialogue of Plato, one of the most famous dialogues of Plato. He speaks of demon. Plato had the vision of the world of ideas, prototypes, archetypal ideas. This is a lamp physically here, but the idea of the lamp, this is a camera, the idea of the camera, the idea of the table is present somewhere else. Now that idea becomes material here on the physical plane through stages of transition. So, but how does it happen? Now there is a demiurge in action. There is a demon who promotes, who gives the life force to make that idea real upon the world. So when that happens, then we have got all these material creations here. This is a chair here. The ideal chair is already there up. Now that chair may not be exactly what we have here, but the transcription of that chair into a physical object here is a part of that demiurge, of that demon incorporated into the system. So the living force, the dynamism, the push is given by the demon in the Socratic philosophy, in Plato's formulation, you see. So it is that demon who makes the possibilities in man real. It's not just an idea, it's not just a concept. Well, the possibilities are existing up there. No, they have to also become actual. Who is going to make them actual? This demon, this demiurge, this semi-urge. It is that which is giving the life force to make it real, you see. The demons of the unknown overshadow his mind. Let us read something about this demon. Which is a very interesting concept, very useful also. But as I said, this is actually something which is realized by a rishi in his formulation. We may not call Plato a rishi, but it is nothing but rishihood, you see. Demon, a god. Subordinate deity. He is subordinate deity. As the genius of a place or a personal attendant spirit. Each place, each house has a demon presiding over the activity, the place, wherever it be. Each place has that, what we would call as the guardian spirit or the driving force also. A physical manifestation of the soul or the inner self. That is what the demon would mean. See. Now, in Homer, I got two things. Homer says Theoi, that is God, and Daemonos. They are of a similar kind. God and demons, they are of a similar kind, almost same. Yet, demons are not gods. Gods are, in that sense, superior to demons. Now, in Plato's dialogue symposium, there is one very wise lady, Diotima. She teaches a few things to Socrates, and she tells Socrates, love is a great demon. It is the power of love which mediates between beings and beings, the higher beings and the lower beings, between man and God. It is the power of love which mediates actually. Love is a great demon. He transports, this demon, he transports human things to gods and things of gods to human beings. So it is the power of exchange, of mutuality, of love in a much deeper sense. Who is really transacting all these things? Therefore, when he says that unborn gods in man's house live, who is going to make them come together? Gods and man, these demons, this power of love, this power of exchange, of mutuality, which is what is going to achieve the future. The demons of the unknown overshadow his mind, casting the dreams into live molds of thought, the molds in which his mind builds out its worlds. His mind creates around him his universe. It is the mind who builds up the entire universe. There is a possibility like that universe the cosmos. But there is a beauty in the word universe. If you go to the etymological sense of the word universe, uni means one, verse, which is a derivative of the root versus, return, to turn, turning back to oneness, that is universe, to going back to oneness, that is the universe. So, this is what happens here. His mind creates around him his universe. It is that oneness which should come back to man when the demons start working in him. His mind creates around him his universe. All that has been renews in him in his birth. All that can be is figured in his soul, issuing in deeds its course of the roads of the world, obscure to the interpreting reasons to guess, lines of the secret purpose of the gods. The purpose behind all these actions he starts interpreting, because now is in operation. In strange directions runs the intricate plan. What is going to happen because of these cosmic forces, or the working of the three divisions of time, of the present, the past, the future, in what manner they are going to work, is an intricate plan. It is not just a chance also, it is a plan also behind that thing. How it is going to happen? Well, that is what will happen here. Issuing in days its course on the roads of the world, obscure to the interpreting reasons, it is beyond the capacity of reason, of the rational mind. Lines of the secret purpose of the God. In strange directions runs the intricate plan, held back from human foresight in their end. How it is going to run? It is that which gets back from him, but it is bound to happen, it is going to take place. And a far intention of some ordering will, or the order of life's arbitrary chance, finds out its settled poise and fated hour. It is bound to happen. It is going to happen. Now here again, I got another deep thought. And if our intention of some ordering will, or life's arbitrary chance. Again, these concepts belong to the Greek philosophy. Will and chance, order. Now, it is something which is determined and that is being executed. That is bound to happen. Chance is something unpredictable, which has no cause. How it is going to happen, we cannot know. It can be fortuitous. It can be random. It may not have any reason at all to spring up. Yet it can happen. Now, from chaos, from chance, from confusion, things can come up and bring out something of it, or there can be a will from above which will execute those things. Of course, the theological concept of something being worked out by will is always powerful. The biblical description is that in Luke, St. Luke, we have a description that there is an wounded man on the roads in the jungle. But then soon arrived a priest. He is guided by some force, by some will, something. He is guided by somebody. He arrives there and he attends to him and puts him on the road. Now, the theological interpretation or thought or thinking is that it is willed. The man is a holy person. He is bound to get help. The priest is bound to arrive there. And he is going to be all right, this man. So that is the will, according to them. It has been willed by God and it must happen. We have, in a way, a very similar situation in Savitri itself. Savitri is in search of her life's partner. She is going from place to place in a golden chariot. Haimam Ratham. She is moving from place to place. She is traveling through countries, through kingdoms, through forests. She has not found anyone yet. But one day, early morning sometime, while her chariot is going through some parts of a forest, suddenly she sees from the other side arriving Satyavan. The eyes meet eyes and all is settled. Settled. A God touched in time that the two souls met and they recognized each other's identity and all was done. God touched in time. In that sense, as if in the case of Savitri, this was willed, this had to happen. There is absolutely no chance of the two strangers coming together like that and meeting in a lonely forest. But it did happen because it got touched in time and all was changed at once. So that's the will, the higher will. Now this higher will, of course, was only in the case of advanced souls, spatial souls. Most of the times, we common people, we had to go through all the travesties of life and yet find our own way. And there is a possibility of a chance. There is a possibility of something happening suddenly without our knowing it, without our recognizing it, without any preparation from our side. Now there is there is always in us a deep hidden force. Unfortunately, we are not aware of it. We are not conscious of the inner voice of the true soul who is going to guide us. We miss it most of the time because we are all the while crowded by the forces of nature. We are living on the surface consciousness. We don't attain to the deeper sense which is present in us. We don't have that calm which is required to listen to that small, little, luminous voice which is there within us. That is the unfortunate part of it. As I said, so only advanced souls would listen to that. That is what happens, has happened, will happen also. Shri Aurobindo, here's the Adesh. Go to Chandranagar, go to Pondicherry. And as if everything then gets organized, arranged, there is a will from above and there is the ready soul here which can accept the command and follow it. That is important. When it is followed, then the path becomes a real sunlit path. Until then, we are only struggling, moving in a very haphazard manner, fighting with ourselves all the while, without any fruits of effort, you see. Issuing in deeds its course on the roads of the world, obscure to the interpreting reasons guess, lines to the secret purpose of the gods. In strange directions run the intricate plan, held back from human foresight is their end. And the far intention of some ordering will, or the order of life's arbitrary charm, finds out its settled poise and fated hour. Our surface washed in vain by reason's gaze, invaded by the impromptus of the unseen, helpless record the accidents of time, the involuntary turns and leaps of life, something which is spontaneous, which something happens without any reason, impromptus, spontaneously, straightaway, like that. Helpless record the accidents of time, the involuntary turns and leaps of life. Only a little of us forces its steps. Only a little has will and purposed pace. Very rarely we do some conscientious manner, in a conscientious manner. A vast subliminal is man's measureless part. The dim subconscious is his cavern base, something which is above, something which is below. It is in between that man lives, and this keeps on happening in him all the while.